gets old, unlike Miguel's decomposing remains. If your camp doesn't have all the necessities, consider using irradiated garbage to add that special touch. It's not enough that I am tethered to an invisible point forever, but the nickname so uncouth. None of the
Right.
other volunteer
Let's see
bots
here.
had idiotic
Script
names.
begins on page 25, so... Aha, here we are.
It's just so odd to see humans
Now
again.
beginning behavioral reprogramming on
The
model number
non-rotten kind, any
RX00 and so on.
right after the
I,
responders
Calvin Van Lowe,
formed
hereby
the
agree.
dozens of volunteers
Accountability.
to build
Responder Survivors Volunteer Program. Responder Survivors Volunteer Program. Advanced Training. Camping. By Miguel Caldera. Robot
right
Programmer
after the
Extraordinaire.
responders formed
Part
the
1.
trained
Finding
dozens
the perfect
of
camping location.
volunteers to build
Now that the world
camps.
has changed, it's hard to stay safe. Used to be that camping was safe as houses.
This is...
Miguel used to be laid back, but these days he's just intense. It never gets old, unlike Miguel's decomposing remains. An average volunteer takes 132 minutes to set up a camp for the first time. Responder Miguel set up this camp in only 9,999 minutes. Bravo. If your camp doesn't have all the necessities, consider using irradiated garbage to add that special touch. Hey, Miguel, did you hear something? Of course not, because you're dead.
This is Maria Chavez speaking, and today is December 25th, 2092. Once, in the world before the war, this would have been a joyous time to celebrate with loved ones. Now, it was on this day 10 years ago that we lost so much in the tragic event we called the Christmas flood. I'm making this recording in the hopes of ensuring the flood and its victims are never forgotten. I suppose the story really begins in November of 2077. Survivors from the Pleasant Valley Ski Resort sent a group to Charleston to ask for help and supplies. The city leaders turned them away. There was so much chaos and so much need back then, I suppose it was an impossible request to grant. The failure to secure help led to a change in leadership for the survivors at the ski resort. A cold and brutal man named David Thorpe took charge, and he shaped those people into something terrible. They did what they wanted by force and killed anyone that stood in their way. Years later, Thorpe's girlfriend Rosalind led a raid on Charleston. They were spotted early in a fight with them. Two of them escaped, but Rosalind was injured and taken prisoner along with some of the other raiders. By then, the responders were more or less running things in the city. We were doing pretty well for ourselves. We felt confident we could confront the raiders on their home turf, so we sent a group up into the mountains. Deal. We hoped we could get them to leave. Prisoners. Wrong. Thorpe somehow got his hands on a mini nuke. He used it to blow the Somersville down on Christmas morning. We lost almost everything. Our homes, our supplies, and most of our family and friends. The days and weeks that followed were the hardest of my life. Alive.